my friends. How are you today? Aaron here in the jungles of Peru, bringing you a little daily horoscope, weekly horoscope if you will, since I've been gone for a minute. And these beautiful flowers. It's kind of bright right now. Hopefully you can see it. These beautiful greens and purples. We've got a lot of movement since we've talked last. Let's go for a walk here in the jungle and talk about the astrology for this week, what's happening right now. We've had Mars move out of the sign of Scorpio into the sign of Sagittarius. A little banana tree. Bananas are off though. There's a Bobinsana tree right here. Love Bobinsana. So Mars, our planet of action, has left its home sign of Scorpio. And it's conjunct with the South Node for the very last time for quite a while here. So Mars conjunct the South Node. The nodes are about to switch. There's a lot of movement going on this week. We're going to talk about it right now. So not only the nodes switching signs, which takes 18 months to happen. 18 months for the nodes to switch. And they've been in the sign of Gemini, North Node, and Sagittarius, South Node. And it's been about our mind. Our mind. How do we feel about something? How do we think about something? How do we think we feel about something? We can think about something, then we can feel something. Venus. Venus is about to retrograde as well. As well, Mercury, the planet that is associated with the North, or with not with the North Node, with Gemini, where the North Node is also moved into Capricorn. So Venus and Mercury both in Capricorn, being restricted by Saturn. Chronos, Father Time. How do you value your time? How do you value your mind? What are you feeding into your mind to show that you love it, to show that you love yourself? As well with Mars and Sagittarius now out of Scorpio, kind of the heavy feeling, if you will, of Mars and Scorpio, of working through the shadows, dealing with our deep emotions, things that we don't want to really deal with. We're going to have a lot of that. This is the Maloka. We did a couple ayahuasca ceremonies here the past couple of nights. I'll tell you, I got into ayahuasca and astrology at the same time. And I work with this medicine a lot. There's our buckets. And learn from these planets and get downloads and talk to you guys about it. Let's go in the jungle. And the lessons that was coming through with the ayahuasca and meditating on these planets is understanding that Capricorn is about our physical being. You are you, I am me. Something we talk about. I can't decide for you. I don't get to decide for you. You have to do that on your own. We share knowledge. That's what we do, right? Philosophical knowledge, astrological knowledge, worldly knowledge. We share this with each other. This is Mars here in Sagittarius. Connecting with the South Node, well, what have we learned? Well, we've learned that there's snakes in the jungle. We've learned that there's, harmful things that can get us. We've learned all kinds of stuff. I'm just being simple because I'm out here right now. We've learned so much from the world and how to view the world, how we're supposed to see the world. And some of this, look at this beauty, is about control. Let's be honest with ourselves. Control. And Capricorn and Scorpio have a lot of control issues. Thankfully, Mars is out of Scorpio into Sagittarius, where it's saying, travel, learn more. Don't just take someone's word for it. That's been the whole experience here with the North Node in Gemini. It's saying, don't just take somebody else's experience. Don't just take my experience for it. Oh, look at this. We got a cow in the jungle. Let's go say hi. We got a couple cows in the jungle. Let's go say hi to our friends. And some mosquitoes too. They can stay. Oh, look at this. How unexpected, right? Hey, cow friends. Hi. You know, like exploring. Mars, Sagittarius, exploring. You don't know what you're going to come across. I'm glad it's a cow instead of a jaguar. It's a whole gang of cows. Oh, here we go. So, all right. So Mars is in Sagittarius, connected with the South Node. Well, just because this is what we've learned at some point in time in our lives, doesn't mean that's necessarily so. Doesn't mean that's the knowledge, that's the facts. And with the North Node in Gemini for the past 18 months, you know, it's saying go explore yourself. Explore these ideas. Explore different religious ideologies. Explore different philosophies. Don't just take Socrates. Don't just take Plato. Don't just take Aristotle. Don't just take the Christian church or the Catholic church or, you know, your rabbi or whatever, the Buddhist. Look at all these freaking cows. You see them way back there? You know, don't just take this cow's word for it. This cow's life is this cow's life. It roams free here in the jungle of Peru. You know, it lives a very different life than a cow in the United States, perhaps, or one on a big farm. You know, so this sense of exploring, seeking things for ourselves, not taking somebody else's word for it. And then, you know, we're such an impressionable being. We're an impressionable race of people, or humans in general. A lot of this South Node in Sagittarius, North Node in Gemini, is about understanding our minds. Understanding how impressionable that we are. That we have this life, we have these bodies, these minds, these hearts, these feelings, these desires. And as a young child, we learn from our parents. We learn our parents' ways of doing things. What did you eat for breakfast? Well, what did your parents cook you? What did you eat for lunch? You know what, this cow's coming back. Let's go say hi to these cows again. Let's see if they'll be friendly. You know, so what do we do? We learn somebody else's routine. We learn somebody else's morning routine. We learn how somebody else cooks breakfast, eats breakfast, how somebody else walks. Let's see if these guys are friendly. Hi, buddy. Well, they're not unfriendly, but... Hi. So we're very impressionable. And what we get to do on a single day, when our eyes open in the morning, is completely up to us. Nobody decides that for us. This has been our journey the past year and a half. Nobody gets to decide for you what you do when you wake up in the morning. No one gets to decide for you what you have to think about, what you're supposed to think about, what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to feel, how you're supposed to act, how we're supposed to educate people, you know? So we have all of these authorities, the religious, the government, the educational authorities, you know, that try to teach us their version, their vision of life. What is this life? How does a human conduct themselves here on this planet? And I'll tell you, coming down here, this is my 4th time down here now in the past 6 months, how life is conducted here on this property is very different than life I've experienced in many other places in the world. Everybody does it differently. And now we're having the node shift, but not yet. So part of this journey right now, what we're on, is appreciating exactly where we're at, exactly the right now. This little mushroom. Appreciating ourselves, appreciating the time, appreciating our own minds, appreciating learning, appreciating expansion, finding joy in expansion, finding joy in discovery. Because the nodes are about to shift, and we're going to talk about that more next week. But we have a full moon happening, and we have a Venus retrograde that's about to start. So let's talk about those. In our sense of exploring this week before the node shift, Mars again in Sagittarius. Let's journey out. Let's find philosophies, information that's new to us, that might challenge our traditional thinking. Now thinking, Mercury is in Capricorn. Venus is in Capricorn at 26 degrees right now. It's going to retrograde on the 19th We have a full moon at 27 degrees of Gemini. The moon will be in Gemini. The sun will be in Sagittarius. So this is too far off of the nodes for it to be an eclipse, but yet impactful indeed, as this is a conclusion to the last 18 months of our lives here, before we start a very serious journey when the nodes shift into Taurus and Scorpio. So now Venus at 26 degrees, it's pretty much stuck there for a week or two at 26 degrees, just kind of barely moving, so it seems from our perspective here, is conjunct to Pluto. About transformation, about changing how we view things, the phoenix rising from the ashes. Venus is what we love, want, and desire. Capricorn, not only time, Chronos, Father Time, but this is about our physical bodies. Do we value ourselves? Do you value yourself? Your physical body? Do you value your mind? This is very big, as Mercury is in Capricorn as well. And is saying we must have disciplines, Capricorn says. We must have disciplines. We must not, with Mars in Sagittarius, the ruling planet of Sagittarius is Jupiter, which is about more. More. Too much of anything is bad for us. So this is, in a sense, not controlling our minds. I'm getting eaten alive back here, you guys. We're just going to keep going. How we value our minds and how we value our bodies. How we use our mind to assess the body. How we view the lens of life through love, of what we value. We have this one life that we're aware of. Sketchy. Oh my God, the bugs are destroying me out here, but we're going to go through it. Discipline. We're just going to keep walking. Bring the camera up. All right, we're going back. Guys, it is too much. I do not have the discipline right now to be eaten alive. There's plenty of jungle to see. We don't have to go in the deep. How we value our minds, how we value ourselves, how do we value our time? And oftentimes, in the United States at least, and I know some friends are from all over, and we're busy. We're so busy. Oh, did you have time to cook breakfast today? No, I didn't have time to cook breakfast today. So I stopped and got something at Starbucks or McDonald's or Tim Hortons if you're Canadian. We don't have the time. We didn't take the time for ourselves. What are we taking the time to do? What are we taking the time to do? How are we valuing ourselves? How are we valuing our bodies? Valuing our minds, valuing our bodies. Expanding our minds. And expanding our minds is uncomfortable because we have to think about things or be presented with ideas or concepts that might differ from my worldly view or perspective. And I might have an emotional attachment to this view, an emotional attachment to this perspective. That's why Venus is conjunct Pluto. Saying, look, to have such a strong attachment to a belief. Well, it's like if that kid just believes in Santa Claus, that kid believes in the Easter Bunny, that kid believes in the Tooth Fairy, and then to come out and find that this is a lie. And I'm using these as examples because they're simple. They're simple. They're something that everyone's been told in their life. And this is how the world is. The world, in a sense, teaches us lies. Politicians use lies to hide truths, while artists use lies to expose truths. So we're exposing truths. Ooh, these mosquitoes are vicious. Exposing the truths. Exposing our minds. And where do we as individuals use our mind, use our knowledge that we've had to create structures, barriers, borders, and boundaries. These are Capricornian features. The limit, the maximum capacity that you can, you know, I have no room for this kind of knowledge in my life. Why? Because my life is full of the knowledge that was passed down and passed down. So I can't think about this. You know, it's something we talk about. It's like if we're learning about, you know, Jesus, learning about the devil is important. And that's a very conflicting concept to people. It's like, well, no, I don't want to give any thought to that. And in the Bible, it tells me to, you know, to not question. We're going to go in the Maloka here. To not question anything. And, you know, so it's like we have all these opposing views. Ah, the Maloka. Look at this beautiful painting over here. So we have these opposing views. And it's up to us to determine. It's up to us to make up our mind. And say, I'm willing to go here. I'm willing to take the time for myself because I value myself, because I love myself. I'm willing to do something different. You guys want to see some monkeys? This is already a long video. Let's go see some monkeys. So the moon and the sign of Gemini, moon, our emotional beliefs. What do we need? What do we need? Sun in Sagittarius. It's the point of illumination. We need to explore. This is why we're exploring right now instead of me just staring into the camera. Let's go see if we can find some monkeys. We need to explore our minds. We need to explore our consciousness. We need to explore beliefs. We need to explore different ideas. We need to explore how we think. We need to explore how we feel. And the crazy thing, you know, this is work. This is all work that we have to do. It's not like we're getting out of this. We're not exempt, you know, from it just being handed down. Like the universe is just saying, oh, here you go. You know, we were out of shape and weren't eating proper, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, the full moon happens, or the Venus retrograde happens, and now all of a sudden everything just falls into place. It's like, well, no, this is still takes time, effort, work on ourselves. And that's the discipline of Capricorn, of Venus in Capricorn. It takes time. Look at this, is hibiscus. It takes time. Oh, there's my little friend. There's Tupac. What's up, Tupac? Want to come say hi to my friends here? Tupac! Tupac. Yes, thank you, buddy. Hanging out with our astrology friends here. Exploring Tupac. Exploring our minds. So it's work. You know, the mountain goat is constantly working, getting up that mountain, coming down, making sure that each step is carefully placed. And the funny thing about those mountain goats too, just like this monkey, they can just hop around. They just go because they've learned it. They've done it through their own experiences. They can outrun, you know, a mountain lion. These goats can. Because they've done the work. And this is coming back to self, and we've got a lot of work to do, friends. A lot of mental and emotional work. A lot of exploring. A lot of playing with monkeys. Alright, I love you. I wish you enough on this beautiful full moon. This is Venus retrograde. I'll be back in a couple of days to the States. And we'll sit down and I'll show you the chart and talk more about it. Until then, my friends, happy exploring. And goodbye from Tupac.